challengers, it is Leave. I believe it is day 41 of my 100-day challenge. Okay, I have some crazy stories to share with you. They're not mine. They belong to Colleen, my friend, who one of these days will get her to do the 100-day challenge, and until then I'll just share her stories with you. She's one of my co-hosts on Get Real Girls and a dear friend. And she has had a couple things happen to her in the past 24 hours that are mind-boggling, and I knew you would love to hear about them. She is doing this weight loss program with me. We're kind of buddies in it, checking in with each other every week. And she decided when she started that she was going to set up something really big for herself when she reaches her goal weight. So she talked to her husband and she said, I really would love to go on a cruise, thinking that it would be like a year, maybe a year and a half before that actually came to fruition. And he said, all right, you know, we'll figure out a way to make that happen. So she put it on her vision board. And you know what happens when you put something on your vision board? It happens. Last night they went to her father-in-law's house. He proposed to his girlfriend and announced to the family that he's going to take them all on an all-expenses-paid cruise over New Year's. So she called me and she's like, I just got a free cruise. And she said, does this mean I have to reach my goal weight by New Year's? So I just love those stories when the stuff on our vision boards that we just believe are going to happen even faster than what we'd had planned. So that's a really cool story. The other story about her from the last 24 hours is not good, but actually I am just so in awe of how she and her husband have handled this latest challenge in their life. At 12:30 last night, so past midnight, somebody knocked on their door. They heard pounding on their door in the middle of the night. And I should say that they don't live in the greatest neighborhood, and they are actually moving on Friday. So their house is packed up. They're just, you know, finishing up with a few stray boxes and cannot wait to get to this new home on Friday. So somebody's banging on their door in the middle of the night. They look out the window and they don't recognize the person. And so her husband Matt called 911 and said, it's the middle of the night, there's a stranger pounding on our door, can you come check it out? And the dispatcher at 911 said, well, actually there's been a hit and run in your neighborhood, so maybe it's, you know, somebody who was involved, you know, maybe they need help. So then they go and they look outside the window again, and they see that one of their neighbors is also out there. So they figure, okay, it's all right to open the door, which they do, and see that both of their cars totaled. They had parked both of their cars on the street in front of their house instead of back in the alley in the garage, and a drunk driver had driven 55 miles an hour down their neighborhood street, sideswiped Colleen's car, knocking the doors right off of it, and then plowed into the back of Matt's car and pushed it into a pole. So neither car is drivable. They're just wrecked. And the guy's car was wrecked, and he apparently got out of his car, left the keys in the car, threw his beer bottle on the ground, and ran for it. They did wind up catching up with him. Turns out he doesn't have insurance. And, you know, for most people, this would be so devastating. Like, all of their transportation just gone. And I don't know how they didn't even hear the crash happen outside their door. But their neighbors, it was neighbors coming to the door to say, you know, oh my God, your cars have just been totaled. And Colleen said that, you know, in that split second when they realized what had just happened, they had to make a choice. And they could have, you know, sworn up and down the F word over and over and over and over. But instead they started laughing. And their neighbors, I think, thought they were crazy and said, you know, what what is the deal? How can you be laughing at this? And they just said, you know, what else should we do? Thank God the guy didn't injure or kill somebody. Our cars kept him from doing that. You know, clearly they feel like they were the ones who were supposed to have this happen to, because he didn't hit a single other car, only their two cars. He could have gone careening into a house. They had actually just paid off both of those cars last month. And Colleen was like, I have a feeling that the damage will be more expensive than what the car is even worth. So she was like, I think I'm getting a new car out of the deal. I mean, just an amazing attitude about it. They walked to breakfast this morning, as if they don't have a care in the world, and just knew that they were going to have a long day ahead of them, talking to insurance agents and police and all of that. And I'm just so celebrating her attitude about it, and knowing that for whatever reason the universe had this in its plan for them, and that they, it's not the worst thing in the world, that there may be gifts that come out of this. She may get a new car, someone didn't get hurt. Just a wonderful lesson, I think, for all of us in how to deal with life's challenges. And they will probably reap so many more benefits from this than others who would wallow in grief and play the victim if this happened to them. I think it is pretty cool that the universe gave them a free cruise like hours before this happened. Like, you know what, something not so great is going to happen, so here's a cruise. I think that's awesome. And Colleen was saying, God is the best, playwright. Like, the stories, if they were in a movie, would be so amusing and engaging. And she always says that every morning she can't wait to get up and be Colleen. So she's just a wonderful, I think, example of how to live and how to face adversities, and just see a gift in every single thing. So I thought you guys would love those stories. I know I did. And I hope you're having I hope you did have a wonderful weekend, and have a lot to accomplish, I'm sure, during the next week. I know that I will be thinking about you as you pursue your dreams, face challenges, and do it all with a smile. Take care.